Okay, I think I'm live. I never really know if I'm live or not, so it's just to be a big surprise until I start seeing comments or something, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I am live. Um, but yes, hi everybody. Welcome back to my blog. Or I guess it's not my blog, it's my YouTube channel. Isn't that so weird to say? My YouTube channel. It's like I'm some YouTuber or something. I'm not. Just a Tumblr person. But yeah, welcome. We are writing Midas today. The title is actually still a work in progress. The story is just based off, like, very loosely based off of the myth of Midas and the Golden Touch. So that's why I called it that. But the title might change. It probably won't now that I've called it Midas and I'm used to calling it that. But it is technically still not a confirmed title. Right now, I have about 2K words in, and we're getting to the part where OC and Jungkook will be meeting for the first time, which is fun. I didn't want to make you guys watch me write the part where they're not even interacting and they don't know they exist, because that's boring. But for context, what's happened so far is that uh, OC has been ordered to serve as the minder. A minder is like a magical babysitter, basically. Serve as the minder for Jungkook because he is getting totally out of control with his powers and doesn't and like just is turning things to gold left and right, and he's super privileged, uh like super full of himself and everything because he's pretty much gotten everything served to him on a silver platter, and everybody always tells him that he's perfect because he's an only child, and he's very wealthy and everything. So they're just about to meet. She's showing up at his house, or his penthouse, in a nondescript city, because I love putting my stories using cities as the setting for all of my stories. Um, because I just dream of living in one, and so I romanticize about that on this blog. So yeah, feel free to just like pop in, say hi. Feel free to watch this back later, which is super weird. I think I said this in the last live, but I think it's really weird that some of you guys do actually watch these back and don't just like say hi on the stream and then dip. Um, because I don't know why you'd ever want to listen to me talk for over an hour. Put it on in the background while you're doing work or something. Um, I think most schools in America are out at this point or having graduations or something. But if you are still doing work, which that's totally cool. I miss doing schoolwork because it was like brain stimulation, and now I just sit around playing playing The Sims and scrolling through Tumblr every day. So I do miss having intellectual stimulation and everything. So, but yeah, you guys can listen to this while you do stuff. You could just say hi and then leave. Honestly, it's whatever. This is also serves as an opportunity for me to just talk about stuff, which is my favorite thing to do because everybody loves talking about themselves. So, it's nice to listen to while writing. Yeah, I hope you find help this helps you be productive um in some way. Uh because it's cool because like I watch stuff to like put stuff in the background, and it makes me feel more productive. Especially like Amanda Rachel Lee, who does bullet journal spreads. Oof, those are so good. They make me feel motivated, which is nice. Um, this premise is really cool. How have you been since the last live? Uh, Good. Nothing's really changed in my personal life, like in my own little bubble. Still at home, living with my parents, not really going out. But, I'm really used to being at home all the time and being alone since I'm an only child. So I feel like this is just, the days are just blurring together. School sucks. I have so much to do next week. Yeah, it does suck. Just like having to do that sort of thing. Yeah. But honestly, I do miss being intellectually stimulated, learning new things, being in an academic environment. It gives me a lot of structure, which I otherwise don't have. Where are you from? If you're not from a city, I live in the suburbs of a city on the East Coast because I put everything in my time in Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, I'm on the East Coast. I live in the suburbs. I'm from China, but I've lived in the U.S. my entire life. So So there's that. Yeah, but I mean, I just like kind of dream of living in a city, not necessarily um because I've never lived in one. Like I've been to cities before. I just love them. I definitely would always pick like a vacation in a city over a vacation on the beach, just like relaxing, because I can do that in my bed and not like in the sun. So, hope your semester ended well. It did, all good. A lot of schools were doing pass fail options this semester because of the whole COVID-19 thing. I took one class pass fail, which I passed, so that's good. And I got, not to flex, I got a 4.0 in all of my other classes, which makes me feel good because this semester was definitely super weird. Okay, so let's get started. Feel free to ask me more questions if you feel like it, or if you just want to hear me type on my keyboard and do other stuff. That's cool too. Hi to everybody who's watching this back. Hope you guys are all well. Hope everyone's doing well. Uh, did you guys watch Bang Bang Con? Because that was super cute and I really enjoyed watching it. So, yeah, just let me know how you guys are doing. I'll get writing. We've got a big brain in our midst, guys. I mean, a lot of academic work is just like memorization, especially in my field of study. I'm studying political science and international relations. So yeah, it's just readings, theories, and stuff, especially in beginner classes and stuff. Have you ever played Missing Messenger? I think I did in like either late middle school or early high school. I don't really remember much, but I definitely did for like a brief period. But I was never really into like those Atome games or anything. so um, so yeah. 4.0, how do you study? My midterms are 6 weeks. I'm closer to dying. Good luck on your midterms. Midterms suck. All tests suck. They're super like time consuming and filled with pressure, and it's really hard not to get super worked up about them. But this semester was honestly, last semester was more of an adjustment because it was my very first semester in college. But this past spring semester, I had felt pretty at ease with where I was. The big switch back to online classes and me moving back home and stuff, that was big. And it definitely took some getting used to because I don't operate as well in like my room doing work as opposed to being in a lecture hall or being able to go to my professor's office hours or anything. Um, but I just try to make sure that the things that I have to memorize aren't in short term memory, they're in long term memory. And for me, the best way to do that is to write them down over and over and over again and use them in examples when as examples when I'm writing essays and answering discussion board questions and stuff. Like in order for you to really grasp the concepts that you're learning, you just need to keep using them over and over and over again. It's basically just like drilling it. Um, so yeah, that's what I do. I don't really have a great study method. Like sometimes I'll just like draw it out on a piece of paper and be like, okay, that's it. Um, but yeah, that's how that's what I do to study. It was different when I was at home, especially because we had a lot of like take home exams, like open note and stuff, so I could check everything. But those were very essay based, so it's just a matter of making sure you know how all of your theories and stuff work. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this live. Hope you guys enjoyed Bang Bang Con. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't have, but it was super cute. And the respect stage was like definitely top 10 favorite stages that they've ever done because it was just so like cute and 80s and fun. And Respect is one of my favorite songs off of Seven, so that was like total plus. So, but what are your favorite songs off of Seven? How did you like Bang Bang Con? Just tell me how you guys are doing. They're gonna have me crying in bed at 4 a.m. Yeah, man. I honestly, I was not going to stay up um until 4 a.m. just to watch BTS. I love them um and everything, but 4 a.m. I'm asleep. So, especially yeah, here. So, but I watched it this afternoon and it was super cute. I think there's a link on my blog if you haven't seen it yet. So, it's a lot of people streamed it on like Twitch and Periscope and stuff. So if you haven't seen it yet, should be a working link on my blog. I'm not sure. It was super cute. Yeah, it was. Gotcha, makes me. Bellingcon was adorable. Yeah, that's where sneezing emoji. It makes me so much more excited for the concert. Yeah, I know. I really hope the concerts can happen, especially because Ticketmaster still has my money. So it better happen soon. Otherwise, I'm gonna be pretty mad because my friends and I went through like hell trying to get tickets for our show, and it didn't happen. And the funny thing is that we chose the DC show as opposed to the shows at MetLife because I was not going to be available for the MetLife shows, which would have been more convenient for us, definitely. But we chose DC, and now since it's going to be postponed and rescheduled, we're just going to go to DC. Like it's not going to be it's like it's just going to be a trip. It's not going to be because I can't make the concert date or something anymore. Which is going to be funny. But I've been looking on the New York Times. I'm feeling it'll be a long time before we get to be in a concert setting, especially a super big concert like the ones BTS hosts. So Ticketmaster thing is stressing me out. I know, like I know it's really difficult to predict when there will be a new date, but they still have my money, so if they'd given me that money back and then like canceled the show and then just said they would do it again at a later date, then I would have my money, which would be helpful because I'm currently unemployed and living with my parents. At least they go to your city. Yeah, it's convenient being on the East Coast because there are some pretty big cities around here. Um, I'm really lucky. I've gone to a lot of concerts. So, all right, let's get started. If you just joined for context, right now Jungkook and OC are going to be meeting for the first time. They have like totally different personalities. Jungkook is very privileged, um, super rich, lives in a penthouse, thinks super highly of himself, very egotistical, and OC is poor, very jaded, very critical of like government and the justice system and everything. Uh, and stuff. So that's the context. And now they're going to be meeting for the first time because OC is being forced to like babysit him to make sure to like reel Jungkook in and get him to stop being like stop using his powers all the time and stop being such like a cocky asshole all the time, and everything. So were you going to go to the concert with Kapuchiga? No, she lives on the West Coast. Actually, we met up once at City Field, which was super cool. It was really nice. It was really nice. She's really nice. I really like her. Tracy's super sweet. It was super nice seeing her and everything. But no, I think she would have been going to the concerts on the West Coast, and I would have been going to the concerts on the East Coast. I think she just had flown out for City Field as like to see a friend or something, and she also was going to City Field. So we met up, and it was fun. But I go with friends from home. Yeah, like friends from IRL. They are my concert buds. We go to everything together. I think fall 2021 was the tentative time for concerts start up again. Yeah, we just have to take life as it comes. So opposites attract tropes are so amazing. I agree, they're my favorites, and they work really well with enemies to lovers tropes because like nothing says enemies like better than conflicting ideals. So Not to sidetrack from writing, but thoughts on Blackpink's upcoming comeback? Yeah, I've seen the teaser photos. I've seen the pre-release teaser photos floating around on my dash. It looks super good. I can't believe it's probably been like I think it's been like a year and a bit since Blackpink last had a comeback. Which is no fault of their own. It's because YG's terrible. Um, as like a person and a company and just everything. He's just terrible. But I'm glad that they're finally coming back. I feel like they've been just like locked away, desperate to be performing because that's what they trained to do and that's what they are in Korea, um, and doing their job for. Like they're there to make music and perform for their fans and everything. And the fact that they have not been able to do that because YG is so terrible makes me really sad. But I'm glad that they're coming back because we all were going through a Blackpink drought, as far as I'm aware. Um, yeah, and I don't know if you guys follow 17, but 17's comeback was super cute. It's weird seeing like it pop up as under the Big Hit YouTube channel. Definitely not going to get used to that for a while. Um, Especially since I'm so used to seeing 17 under Pledis Entertainment. But I'm glad that they're not under technically they're under Big Hit because Big Hit totally bought out Pledis. Because Pledis sucks as an entertainment company in general too. Uh, so yes, I'm 17's comeback was also super good, super cute. And I have very fond memories of 17 because I have been following them for a really long time, and I got to see them in concert in January. Last and only concert of 2020 for me. So, so oh gee, I double take so hard when I saw the Big Hit labels notification, where I was like, did they misspell Pleatas? Yeah, definitely super weird. Sort of makes me like really hope for more BTS 17 interaction, but I know that both groups are like super busy with their own promotions and their own work. So, but yeah, I can still hold out hope for a BTS 17 thing. I'll just keep praying because those are like some that would be top tier. Did you ever go to Model UN in high school if you're studying poli sci in college? I did. I did Model UN in high school for 2 years. It was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it. As someone who's studying that sort of stuff like in college, it's definitely really interesting to see like from a theoretical perspective and everything, how the world works and stuff, and how countries interact, especially because like in Model UN, when you're in high school, you kind of don't know the nitty gritty of it all, but when you get to college, they like drill it into you. And so yeah, being like looking back, I think that some of the ideas and stuff, like the resolutions and everything that groups like blocks would come up with would be like super unfeasible, totally ridiculous and everything. I chaired a group at a Model UN conference in college this past January, and it was really cool to see all these like, but Model UN high school kids are like super duper tryhards. I know this because I was one. Um, and so just watching them like try to impress us, like us as the chairs, and try to like assert dominance over each other was super cute, super funny. Um, but yeah, I did do Model UN and I really enjoyed it. But I don't think that I could ever foresee myself being like a real diplomat or actually be a part of like a representative to the United Nations as a career path. It's just I like being behind the scenes and stuff. How do you vary your sentences to keep things interesting? Ooh, writing tips with gukyi. Um, Basically, I just try to make sure that no sentence begins the same way. I don't know how else to put that. Like, uh, like make sure that you're not starting every single paragraph, every single sentence with the same word for starters, because that can get really repetitive. And if you are doing dialogue, make sure to vary between just dialogue, and then an action word, and then like a little action phrase, or and then or like a bit of description, and then some more dialogue or something, just to make sure that you don't have blocks of writing at a time that kind of read the same thing and everything. And also, I would suggest to always, or as much as possible, use action words. So instead of saying is something like she is yelling, you should say she yells, because that is an action word as opposed to doing something passively, which really like drives home the point of your writing. So that's what I have to suggest. What motivated you to start posting your writings? I guess like I just starting out, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but in middle school, I used to run a 5 seconds of summer blog where I posted writing. It's deleted now, so none of you guys can go back and find it, so which is super good, because it was super embarrassing. I was like literally a middle schooler, which if you're in middle school, like you should not be, especially if you're under the age of 13, you should not be on Tumblr. Like Tumblr's age restriction is there for a reason. But yeah, I started posting fan fiction for the 5 Seconds of Summer fandom when I was in middle school. Took a break after a couple years after the 5 Seconds of Summer fandom sort of died out. Like they just went on a break and then everybody just left to go stand K-pop. So, um, and then when I created this blog 3 years ago, actually, my 3 year anniversary was today, a week ago, which is super cool. Um, I had already become so used to posting fan fiction like from my old blog that I didn't feel any nervousness or anything coming to this blog and just posting stuff. And I also had felt like I had improved in my writing since seventh grade, obviously. So I just felt like, I just wanted people to see it. And I think that that's really the main thing when it comes to posting writing. Like, you write for yourself, yeah, that I believe. You must always be writing for yourself. If you don't like what you're writing, stop, start over, write something that you love. But it's feels kind of sad when you write this whole thing and no one gets to go and read it, like no one's out there. And there's the nice thing about Tumblr is that, like, technically you guys are all just total strangers to me, like I don't know you guys personally or anything, but you are still able to read my writing and you can see the things that I create without having like a personal bias. Because it's weird when people you like know and see in real life read your writing. It feels weird, at least to me. So Tumblr is a really good outlet for that. Same thing goes for Archive and Wattpad and all those other fan fiction sites. Having strangers, like, even if you guys are just technically strangers, there's somebody out there who's reading your writing, and that's cool. Writing is meant to be shared, you know. So writing is meant to be shared. Gukyi is a poet. You can keep saying casual but mind-blowing things like this year are insane. I don't know. They just feel like things that you guys should that we should all feel. I don't know how else to put it. I'm not very good. I'm not like super great at saying stuff on the spot. Um, not like Namjoon or any of the BTS members. They're like Yoongi. Oh my god, Yoongi says stuff, and it's just so like poetic and beautiful and meaningful and everything. I'm not like that. I just say things that I think that should always be something that you should believe. Like writing is meant to be shared. If it wasn't, then we wouldn't have all these like wonderful books and poems and everything. So, and fan fiction too. So, yeah, I just feel like that's a given. You don't write to keep it locked away in a journal. You write so that other people can see it. I'm saying this while I stare at like my bookshelf, my kids' bookshelf, filled with books. It's a lot of like books that I read when I was in middle school and I still read all the time. A lot of dystopian novels, young adult stuff. I have like the first 8 Diary of a Wimpy Kid books on here, which I read religiously throughout elementary school. So yeah, just think like looking at all these books, these that's why they were written so that other people could read them. And it just makes you sort of think about how many manuscripts and things aren't published right now that will be one day. Um, so much there's an endless amount of things to read. Always, you'll never be able to read every single one. Oh, did you ever read Dork Diaries? I think I read one or two. I was one of those like girls who was who was like super internally misogynist, like who was internally misogynistic to herself all the time in middle school. And I would be like, I don't want to read this stupid book about two like preteen girls who are obsessed with boys and everything, because I like wasn't aware that that was detrimental to my own well-being as like a woman. But yeah, I think I read one or two. I read pretty much anything you put in front of me in middle school. Anything, I would just open it and read it. And now I don't. I haven't read. I actually no. I finished a book a couple days ago. I finished The Book of Dust by Philip Pullman. It is the first book that I've read in a very long time. that wasn't for school. So yeah, and it makes me want to keep reading because I miss it. I do. I just like would always be. I was just one of those kids that read everything in middle school, and then once high school hit and like the pressure of real life started sinking in, I was just like, I don't read anymore. Um, hashtag just gifted elementary school kid things. Have you read Atonement? No, I haven't. I haven't read a lot of things actually. If someone asked me if I read like I think it's called the Throne of Glass series. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I haven't read that either. There are a lot of things that I definitely want to read. And now I'm getting like into reading again because it's quarantine and I have no job, no classes or anything. So yeah, I'll put that on my list of things to read. If you guys have any other book recommendations, feel free to hit me up. I'll put them on my never-ending list of things that I have to do this summer. Um, just like anime. If you guys have any anime recommendations, let me know too, because I told myself that I would try and get into anime or try and watch a couple of shows because I was never really into it, but a lot of my friends are, and I know a lot of you guys are, and I want to see what all the fuss is about. So please, if you haven't read Series of Unfortunate Events, I read that. I would read it during like inside indoor recess when it would rain in like fourth grade and stuff. Yeah, I've read those. It's been a while. Haven't read them since, but I have read them. So you should definitely give Atonement a read. All my English lit teachers love it. Hey, that's the sign of a good book, right? If your English lit teachers approve of it. I'm kidding. That's not the sign of a good book because in my English class we had to read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. It is this ridiculously philosophical book. It will make your head explode. Um, I had to read that as a summer assignment going into 12th grade. My English teachers loved it. I did not. So, but if you really feel like getting your mind blown and not in like a good sort of earth-shattering way, read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by I think it's Robert Pirsig. Yeah, it's the sort of book that I would imagine like somebody like Namjoon reading and really liking because he's on like that level of existentialism and self-awareness. I'm not at that level. I still reread like Harry Potter. So speaking of Harry Potter, anybody seen what J.K. Rowling is up to these days? Yikes! It's really hard to separate yourself from the like separating the work from the author. But I was reading a really interesting New York Times article about how a lot of like Harry Potter fans are beginning to separate themselves from like separating the entire fandom, like the literal Harry Potter fandom, away from J.K. Rowling because of the things that she's been saying, of which I approve of literally none of them. She's nuts. I think she like this was the worst timing, and she's totally transphobic. And I just, you know, she, I just can't believe that she's saying the things she's saying at a time like this. Um, but it's really interesting to see people who have loved Harry Potter for so long and want to continue to love it, but are really coming to reckon with um, what J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, is saying. Uh, so yeah, if you haven't read Harry Potter, I would still recommend it, but try and find a way that you can read it for free, um, as an effort to not give J.K. Rowling any of your money. So, um, and it's super good and like literally changed my childhood. But it's really, I can't say it's unfortunate or sad. Like I don't feel sad for myself, and I don't feel sad for J.K. Rowling for any reason. But um, it's a shame that it had to come to this, because it was such a good series. It still is, but J.K. Rowling, every time she tweets, things get ruined. I wish that she could just like disappear off the internet and just be one of those authors that like posts, writes a book series, and then like vanishes, you know? I saw some tweets saying Kim Namjoon wrote Harry Potter, guys. Just think of it like that. I like that. I don't know who wrote Harry Potter. I think it was just written by like some mystery author. Or it was like the Odyssey, where it was like recounted like a tale, like a tale over and over again until somebody eventually decided, hey, I'll write this down. So there's a blank spot in my mind if you ask me who wrote Harry Potter. Yeah, yeah. that's all I have to say about the J.K. Rowling incident. It's just it's a shame that it had to come to this. I hope you guys are all doing well, staying safe, happy, healthy, right now. Because right now in America, it's pretty sucky to be any American. And just to be in America right now, it's definitely, I think I said this in my live. I think I say this in every live, but may you live in interesting times is actually a curse, and it sucks to be living in interesting times. I kind of wish it was just like 2013 and everybody was just getting over the fact that the world didn't end in 2012, and everything was super chill and like I was going through like my emo phase and everything. I wish I was still there. Um, Keep in mind, I put this in the bio of like in the description of this live, but I am still doing commissions for Black Lives Matter. If you want to commission me for anything, um, there's a post on my blog. You just have to donate at least $10, but as much as you can, preferably to any organization of your choice, and I will happily write you something. Just message me. I'm gonna be doing this for like indefinitely, until I don't know, until like the police is finally abolished. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, please let me know. It's really the only way that I can contribute other than signing petitions and spreading the words because I am currently unemployed. I live with my parents, and I can't donate any money of my own. So I hope that this will serve as a way for me to do things for a good cause. Yeah, yeah, I'm really lucky to be in the position that I am. I'm super privileged. I'm like a Chinese girl, only child. I was adopted by two white parents. Live in a nice house in a decent suburb. I get to go to a pretty good college. I'm really lucky to be where I am, and makes me think about all of the unchecked things that go through my mind, like unchecked racial biases, and things. And I'm really trying to better myself and be aware. Um, but it's not like a off on switch. It won't just happen in a day. It's like a lifetime of undoing all the things that you've been taught and all the things that you unconsciously believe. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I am keeping up with the news. I am subscribed to the New York Times. It's like my go-to news place. I read everything and anything that they put on there. But sometimes the New York Times doesn't capture everything. So that's why I'm trying to stay involved on social media as well, because social media is also becoming like surprisingly like quite reliable news source. So I never thought we'd get to the day, but yeah. This dialogue is gold. Thanks. I do love writing dialogue. It's definitely my favorite thing to do. I'm a dialogue writer. Descriptions, I just feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over and over again. But dialogue is where it's at, in my very humble opinion. It's fun because it's like just think about what people are saying to each other. Conversations, communication, all of that good stuff. I definitely feel like I might could be maybe good at playwriting or screenwriting, because that's literally all dialogue. A couple stage directions here and there, but it's mostly dialogue. Dialogue is what furthers the action of both a play and a movie. So, yeah, I've never playwritten, nor have I ever screenwritten, but it's definitely something that I would love to give a try. I think there's a screenwriting class that my school offers that I definitely want to take. I'm just super interested in writing a screenplay and stuff. And I think that it would be cool because it would get to basically use my favorite thing in the entire world, which is dialogue. No descriptions, nothing, no flowery language or poetic metaphors or hypotheticals, just pure communication. That's what I want. That's my dream. If I could write a book or something or a story that was literally just dialogue, I would be head over heels. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to when this fic will be finished. It's been plotted out since last I had a live, and I'm getting started on it. It won't be as long as Vogue. That is a promise. It's not going to be 42K. It will maybe be 20K, I think. That's my estimate, 20K, which is a pretty good, reasonable estimate for me because that's about how long all of my fics have been recently, excluding Vogue. Um, and hopefully it will be done by the end of this month. The goal is to post it in 2 weeks, actually. I'll probably make a post announcing that sometime in the next week. And that will force me to finish it because I don't work well without deadlines. But yeah, the goal is to finish it by the 28th so I can post it for you guys, something big and long and exciting. And then I'll get started on my next thing. I don't really know what I'll write after this. I've got a Taehyung arranged marriage AU that's still on the cards, after I did a poll about 7 months ago and everything. That's up. I definitely want to write another Hogwarts AU, having just spoken about how problematic the Harry Potter fandom is becoming through no fault of the Harry Potter fandom of its own. Because I just haven't written a Hogwarts AU since Do You Want Me Dead was posted, which was literally a year ago. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've written one. I also have like I just have things. I really want to write a camp counselor AU. I say that every summer because it's the perfect time to write a camp counselor AU. But that's still definitely in the cards. I'm obsessed with the idea of that sort of thing, uh, stuff. And you guys give me inspiration all the time. Um, so there's stuff that I definitely still want to write. I don't know how long I'll be writing on Tumblr for. I know that there will be an end, but I don't know when it'll come. So I am just trying to get out as much writing as I possibly can before I start switching to more original stuff. Maybe go back to Archive of Our Own right there. We'll just see what the world gives me. I'm taking a creative writing class next semester, which hopefully it will be in person, but we never know. And I think that it'll be really good because it's an intro class and it'll help me get back to the very basics of writing, which I feel like I've glossed over in writing because I just write. I just get down and dirty with it, and I don't really think about the fundamentals of writing as is. And I think it'll be really helpful to get back to those. Look into it. Writing scripts for plays, films is really fun because you think about things visually in terms of staging and framing too. It's a new way of thinking about plots. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. I really want to take a screenwriting course or something. I visualize every scene in my head like a movie, which is why I write sort of I have to describe everything that's super important, or that I find is necessary for you to visualize the scene. So I play every story out in my head like a movie, and I hope that it plays out like a movie for you guys when you read my stuff. So yeah, I definitely think about. I don't think about things. I don't know how else other people think about writing, because I have always just seen every single scene, every moment, every word spoken as a movie, and I just turn it into writing. I'm in awe of your mind. All the plot bunnies you have around there is incredible. Yeah, that's what you get for always daydreaming about impossible scenarios, and never paying attention to the real world. No, but for real, I do always have things that I want to write, things that I want to do, dream fix that I wish that I could get around to, but know that I never will. I posted the Dabble let's say a few days ago, 21st Century Love. That's a jungkook fic that I had created the idea for from one of the fic titles games. That's definitely something that I'd love to write. It's an enemy to lovers fic, the bread and butter of this of this blog, where they are college students, because I love a good college AU, and they're both taking this college film class about like rom-coms of the 21st century and everything. And Jungkook like believes in love. He's a hopeless romantic. He sees the good in everything, and OC's like super jaded. Thinks love is like Hollywood movies are like a ploy to get you to keep turning like the wheel of capitalism and engage in like mass consumerism and everything. And they go on this big quest together to find love. Or Jungkook is like, I'm gonna make you fall in love with love, and OC is like, how are you gonna do that? And Jungkook is like, because we're gonna make a short film about a cheesy romantic comedy, and one of those love stories is gonna be ours. And I would really like to write that. I know a lot of people would like to read that. I also just like, I think 2 days ago, posted a pirate AU for Jin, which follows the premise of OC being like a runaway pirate. She's wanted in like every town, every port city, and she inexplicably bumps into Jin, who is a runaway prince, for reasons that are unknown currently to both you and me, because I haven't really thought about the plot in too much detail yet. And they go on this big quest, and it's probably going to be like very foreshadowy, going to have a lot of like background plot and stuff, not just like focusing on their relationship as it develops or anything. So that's also something that I want to write. Have you ever dabbled in poetry writing? I have. I'm not good at it. I'm just gonna say that. I've written poetry before, and you've seen some of my poetry written in Interconnection. I wrote some poems there. They're like not good. I'm not big on the poetry thing because I don't know how to shut up, and I prefer writing because I could just talk. And in poetry, you have to be pretty succinct. And I'm not very good at that. In case you couldn't tell from me talking for the majority of this live stream instead of like writing, and from how long all of my fics are, and how much stuff I have to say like on my blog and everything. I mean, OC isn't wrong though. Yeah, I mean like Hollywood movies, right? They pursue the idea of like a damsel in distress, who needs to be like rescued from her terrible life by a man. Um, and they perpetrate like consumerist ideals, like if you do this, this, and this, you'll fall in love. And those are the only ways that you can like get a man. You like make yourself look pretty, be nice to everybody, and then men will just like fall at your feet, or you'll be saved by like this perfect man, who's actually super misogynistic and doesn't care about and and actually really enjoys playing up the whole like woman in need kind of thing. I don't know. Um, so so yeah, I mean, but honestly, like I love me a good rom com. So I feel like I'm pretty much both Jungkook and OC when it comes to that. I love love. I really do. Um, Down with misogyny. I agree. Fuck that shit. Get rid of it. Um, don't worry, I think I've written less than you if that makes you feel any better. Aw, it's not a competition. Life is not a competition, especially on like in terms of writing, in terms of being online, like just in general. The only person you really should always be competing against is yourself. Trying to better yourself every day. Do a little bit more than you did yesterday. Be a little bit nicer. Um, Write a little bit more. Do a little bit more work. Learn a little more. You should just always be working towards improving yourself. But I feel like there's a quote by, I believe it's Theodore Roosevelt, who's like, I'm not going to discuss Theodore Roosevelt and his problematicness because whatever, but he reportedly said, um, comparison is the thief of joy. And I think that that's really true. I was really used to comparing myself. In high school, I compared myself, and even on Tumblr, I compare myself to blogs who are bigger than me, blogs who get more notes, who get more asks in their inbox and everything. And, you know, you just like to always be comparing yourself. There will always be someone better than you. So, like, that will never be something that you can escape unless you're like Jeff Bezos. But no one's Jeff Bezos except Jeff Bezos. So, so yeah, you just have to be content with improving yourself and like not really worry about what other people are doing, you know? That's those are my 2 cents on it. Um, I think that in some scenarios comparison can be healthy because it can force you to work harder. But if you're working harder to the point where you find yourself becoming unhappy, then it's not worth it. So it's 10:27 here on the East Coast, so I will probably be wrapping up shortly. I've queued up a Drabble on my blog, which you guys should all check out. Um, as like a postscript, which is basically my version of a continuation for You Anything, which was commissioned actually like several months ago, but I only got around to writing a Drabble for it now, thanks to this quarantine and my commissions and everything. So you guys should all check that out. That's being posted at 10:30 exactly. If you guys have any questions, any other leftover questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. I will do my best to respond. These always go over like exactly an hour anyway, so it's no big. Um, but if you don't have any, but you remember some later, obviously my ask box is always open. So you can ask me there, you can ask me anonymously or with your blog, whatever you feel like. And I will do my best to respond. I try to respond to all asks. I'm actually, after this ends, I'm going to go make a plagiarism master post because it has been brought to my attention that someone has plagiarized some of my work and also some other people's works, especially people who I'm close to. So, uh, so that is what I will be doing tonight. Super looking forward to it. So yay, plagiarism, super fun. You know, this is the first time that anybody's actually plagiarized my work. So that'll be fun to deal with. It was on Wattpad. Go figure, right? Uh, but yeah, if you have any other questions for me, if you want to ask me about, I don't know, anything, everything's fair game at this point. Feel free, or contact me on my Tumblr, um, and everything. So yes, shaking my head. I don't know how the people have the heart to plagiarize. Yeah, me neither. You know, you don't deserve that. But I hope that things go all right when resolving the issue. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a problem. I checked it out. It looks more like someone saved all these fics as like a personal library and they just posted it on Wattpad um as opposed to like literally claiming to have written the stuff. Um so I don't think that there was like malicious intent, but it still sucks. So I will be dealing with that. That will be super fun to do. I'm not looking forward to it. I'll probably put like an episode of Criminal Minds on or something while I do it. Um, and yeah, thanks for joining me. I can't believe this is actually going to be like probably close to an hour as opposed to like an hour and 15 minutes like the other ones are. Um, if you are listening to this back, I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about current issues and my life and everything. Um, and I hope you guys are excited for Midas. It's probably going to be called Midas now that I think about it. It will be posted on the 28th. That is a promise. I will make it official on my blog in a couple days. But yeah, you guys are going to hold me to that because I operate very poorly without deadlines. So, yes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I actually didn't even reblog my Tumblr post advertising this live once. I'm impressed with myself considering I self reblog everything about 5 times. Um, yeah. Subscribe. That's really weird. I'm gonna be like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications whenever I upload something. No, you guys get most of my information off of Tumblr anyway, so it's all good. But yeah, I guess subscribe if you guys want to see other lives, see future ones, which will definitely be a thing that I'll do. I do them about once every 2 weeks or so. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys liked watching me write, listening to me tap on my keyboard for an hour. Midas will be hosted soon. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Oh, what's up? Goodbye.